20-odd years ago, when I started all this, my first assignment was designing Norma's clothes. And I was involved in a bit of a hell of a scandal. I thought it was buried, but Norma exhumed it for her book and added a few inaccurate but incontestable embellishments. Quite sordid. Her price was astronomical.
It certainly undermines an author's ego to realize that there's more money in not being published.
Do you know anyone else who was on Norma's list of contributors?
Yes. That's why I called you. Anton de Tourlet.
Norma's second husband. I've just been designing the costumes for his new ballet.
Your nephew arrested de Tourlet. He's bound to talk, implicate us.
Implicate you?
Yes, we were conspirators.
We being three?
Yes, de Tourlet, Pinky, and myself. We just wanted to frighten Norma. De Tourlet drove the car that almost hit her last night.
Who made the phone call?
Me. I told her, resorting, I'm sorry to say, to an old-fashioned cliché, next time we might not miss.
But of course, we never intended a next time.
Well, it does fit with the story Mary told us, G.
Gee? Oh, I'm sorry. I was just noticing all the awards.
Well, really, they're hardly pertinent now, dear.
I'm sorry. It just struck me how inadequately designed they are for design awards, if you see what I mean.
Definitely inadequate. And most irrelevant. Well, Alexander, we appreciate your taking us into your confidence, and we will represent your case as ably as we can to our nephew.
Then we're in the best of all possible hands.
Why didn't I remember that Mr. Largo was a motion picture? I feel as though I'd let photoplay down.
Well, my dear, you were never as mindful of the films as of the chit-chat. You remember who's making whom, not who's making what.
True. Poor Alexander.
Yes. Oh, the dear man is totally smitten, to such an extent that I'm afraid he believes her.
And you did notice?
Oh, yes, the Cinque perfume. The same scent that was so strong at Norma's.
That means that Pinky was there that night, doesn't it? That.
Oh, there's a detective on the force we can't be too sure of.
I'm telling you, I can't tell you. Look, I've got a legitimate client. I can't reveal information like that. Now, you could lose your license. If I tell you what you want, I could lose my business. The work I do is based on trust.
I didn't know you changed your profession.
Look, Lieutenant, I know it's a murder rap. I want to cooperate, but my client is not involved. You've got my word.
Okay, let him go.
What?
Let him go. Get out of here.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
Wrong. Have Johnson Taylor. First person he'll contact will be his client. I want to know who that is.
Right. Still very wrong.
We're looking for someone who can help us locate an old film.
Next to the last door on the left. If there's anybody knows about the oldies, it's Frank.
Thank you.
All right, stick 'em up, sweetheart. One more step and you'll get shot. All right, stick 'em up, sweetheart. One more step and you'll get shot. I'm going to pass stone. Now, you come against yellow. All right, stick 'em up, sweetheart. One more step and you'll get shot.
My heart is beating quite frantically.
You were frightened.
No. Such a marvelous voice it is.
Oh, Frank.
Frank?
Yeah?
You didn't say you were Frank.
I didn't say I wasn't.
We're looking for an old film called Mr. Largo. You said you could help us.
Largo. Oh, yeah. Portland Productions, 1946, distributed by Ron Odd Worldwide.
Goodness, you have a remarkable memory.
Well, I told you Frank was special. No, it's just that someone took it out for a couple of days, about a week ago.
Do you remember who?
No. But I can find out. We have records.
Fine. Okay, Raymond.
Lieutenant Johnson just called in. Perkins headed straight for the nearest phone booth. He seemed pretty upset. Johnson didn't hear the conversation, but he got close enough to see him dial. Here's the phone number. Want me to check it out?
Not necessary. I know this number. Tell Johnson that's all we need.
Right.
Say, Lieutenant, your ads are outside.
No, they're not.
Do you know who this is, dear? Mr. Largo.
His ashes.
The adventures that Mr. Largo made in 1946. Norma had a bit part in it.
And this will tell us where the manuscript is hidden.
And this will tell us who the murderer is.
Telephone number.
The right telephone number. He's come to the same conclusion we did.
It's going to be very hard to prove.
Impossible. Unless we can persuade the killer to accommodate us with a confession.
Yes. That's going to take some planning.
And the first order of business is to arrange for a screening.
The second is to get some popcorn. I never did have lunch.
We're all here because each of us, although for different reasons, is concerned with Norma Treat's manuscript. Before she died, Miss Treat left a message for her daughter. It was a brief note, but it contained two key words. Mr. Largo. All of us involved in the investigation felt that once we found Mr. Largo, he in turn would lead us to the missing manuscript. And when we found the manuscript, we would have the instrument we needed to conclude our homicide investigation, as well as determining the answers to some puzzling questions and connections. Our projectionist is now ready. We will proceed with our invitational screening of the adventures of Mr. Largo. Barney, the lights.
Movies in the afternoon. It's bookie time.
Many actors and actresses keep props from their movies as mementos. This one came in handy for Miss Treat. When she became really frightened and decided that she needed a safer hiding place than a locked drawer. Later, of course, when she heard the murderer in the house, she left a message for Mary, hoping that the killer wouldn't get the clue, but that sooner or later her daughter would.